If you want to support our campaign here, please do come and talk to us afterwards. We've got loads of materials, we've got loads of posters. We're trying to get posters up all over the city so people know that we can win in the election on Thursday, and we can get councillors elected on Thursday as well, and be part of the Green Surge and make it real. So please come do that afterwards. What I want to say now is just a couple of things before I hand over to Natalie. So first thing is, I'm standing in a very special place. I'm standing on this unique bus, this wonderful old converted Route Master bus. It looks red, it drives green, it runs entirely on used chip fat. So when it cracks up going later, you'll smell a wonderful smell coming out the back. It may make you all very hungry. So this is a little symbol of the greener future that we want to build. I'm our national transport spokesperson, and this is a little example of how you can have greener transport in this country.
The busway the bus is running off of this.
Yes,
Go down a Street, you can ride on a new one, not the spec that was used to destroy the electric toy buses in London.
Well, yeah, thanks for that, sir. I think we'll focus more on the positive, that this one runs entirely on used chip fat, which the busway doesn't. So I think we've got a little one-up on them there. The other thing I want to mention is this report that we're launching here this afternoon, Time for the Cambridge Energy Revolution. What this report talks about is the way that Cambridge can play a central role in the renewables revolution that we so badly need in this country if we're going to hit our climate targets over the coming decades. The only way that we can do what's right for our children and grandchildren. Climate change is the great issue that we're going to be judged on by our children and our grandchildren. And this is a key part of how we're going to achieve that. So look out for this. We're launching it now. It's going up online. And what it lays out is how Cambridge can be part of this energy revolution, this renewables revolution that we need, and create millions, initially hundreds of thousands, and ultimately across Britain, millions of green jobs in the process. But I'm not going to say any more about that now. You can find out about it, you can read all about it online. I'm going to hand over to our leader, Natalie Bennett, who's up here today. It's a great privilege for us to have her here, of course. She's here because of how strong Cambridge is and because of the enthusiasm of all of you. And she's going to give a major speech about the Green Party position on human-triggered climate change. Without further ado, enough from me, and I'll hand over to our leader, Natalie Bennett.
Thank you, Rupert. I've just got to arrange this here so that the BBC microphone is in the right place. So a lot of these things we do for television, and I have to apologise for needing the microphone, and having some extra help. But you might have noticed, those of you who saw the interview I did with Russell Brand last week, that I'd more or less lost my voice last week, and I was squeaking pretty hard. So I've recovered, but I'm trying to keep it a little protected. But I do want to say thank you very much to everyone who's here today. You're joining the final days of what's been a truly amazing, exciting election campaign. We've seen Green Party membership in the past year, and particularly in the past few months, just leap. We're now more than 4 times as large as we were at the start of the year. We've now got 62,000 members. Woo! We've got polls predicting record levels of support, and a huge opportunity to elect a strong group of Green MPs on Thursday. And that matters for a great many reasons, but one of the reasons why it matters most of all is the fact that in 7 months' time in Paris there will be climate change talks. Absolutely critical global climate change talks that will have a huge impact on all of our futures. At those negotiations, world leaders will be sitting down and deciding the fates of millions around the world. Clear, bold action on climate change is possible, but sadly it's far from inevitable. Lord Stern has just said that what's on the table now is inadequate, but there's still time to improve it. And even after Paris, whatever we get in Paris, we're still going to have to keep campaigning, keep pushing, keep seeking to see more improvements, more change. Because the fact is, we've already seen the impact of climate change on our planet, our wildlife, and our communities. A study just last month found that extreme heat waves and extreme rainfall is now at least 4 times more likely than it was before the climate started changing. Around the globe, people's lives, and particularly the lives of the poorest and most vulnerable, are afflicted by rapidly increasing temperatures and increasingly volatile weather patterns. Year after year, we're seeing violent storms from East Asia to the Caribbean, and the weather comes on cue, but that's just weather, that's not climate change. Communities are being ripped apart. In parts of the world, we're seeing farmers unable to feed their families and communities struggling to survive. And here in the UK, we're seeing summer temperatures rising with big impacts on our poorly insulated homes. And we're seeing increasing amounts of flooding affecting vulnerable communities. We know we have to act, and we have to act now. And we need to act to change our society, not just for environmental reasons, but for economic and social ones too. They're all interlinked. For 5 years, we've had, you'll remember the phrase, the greenest government ever. Yes. After that, the Centre for Economic Performance has said we are lagging behind most OECD countries in clean technology take-up and innovation. We are being left behind. So we're now at a point of a crossroads. This decision we need to make on Thursday is a key point. Will we choose a dangerous, destructive dead end that will ultimately leave us stranded internationally, economically and environmentally? Or do we offer hope to the rest of the world, lead by example, and embrace 21st century solutions to the problems we face? We're now a world leader in some things. We're a world leader in arms sales. We're a world leader in the fraud-ridden, corrupt, still out of control financial sector that's still got huge investments in dangerous dinosaur fossil fuels. These industries threaten all of our collective futures. They're no kind of foundation for our economy or our society. Yet they are at the heart of the plans being offered by the Conservatives, the plans being offered by Labor, and the plans being offered by the Lib Dems. All three parties want us to pursue the fantasy of fracking, even though it's so unpopular, so unwanted, and so unnecessary. Conservatives and Labor want to build new roads and expand airports, ignoring the environmental and social impacts on communities. None of the establishment parties have the bold plans to improve energy efficiency on this kind of scale that we need. I find whichever group I talk to, whether I'm talking to groups of students or groups of older residents, and I say, what about our cold homes, our cold rooms, our cold residences? And everyone goes, brr. Yes, exactly. We have such a poor quality of housing stock in Britain, and that's why we have a fuel poverty problem. And none of the other parties have plans to break up the big six energy firms, the oligopoly that's keeping control, keeping the prices high, and not providing opportunities for the community-owned energy, the renewable energy that we need. We want to democratise our energy supply and put it in the hands of communities and small local companies. And of the other parties, none of them have acknowledged that nuclear power is another 20th century dinosaur. Blow after blow hits the nuclear power sector. The two European plants are wildly over schedule and over budget, and they mightn't generate a single watt. But the nuclear lobbyists, they still find the government doors open for them, while their policies fail to deliver. Only the Green Party is setting out the policies that could make Britain a leader in the technology of the future. It's a future of tremendous possibilities, of hope, of good, stable jobs, of warm, comfortable homes, of business opportunities, community-owned energy. That's what we offer. That's what the Green Party offers. The truth is, we cannot afford not to take action on climate change. Ultimately, this isn't politics. This is physics. We have to act. The investment that we make now has huge social and economic opportunities. The cost of inaction is far, far greater. And my message to the people of Britain today is, if you want action on climate change, and if you care about protecting our shared environment for future generations, vote Green. By voting Green, you've got a chance to show whoever is the next Prime Minister just how much the fight against climate change matters to you. You've got a chance to send a message loud and clear to whoever will be negotiating on your behalf in Paris. Green MPs will do all that they can to stop a Tory government taking office. But if they do get back, you can rest assured that the Greens will be on their case, holding them to account and exposing their shortcomings. But what looks most likely now is a Labour minority administration. And you, here in Cambridge and in places like Bristol West and Norwich South, my own seat of Holborn and St Pancras, Sheffield Central and others, you can elect a strong group of MPs, Green MPs, to fight your case, to push a minority Labour administration in the right direction. And wherever you are in the country, every Green vote is going to count. Every Green vote will strengthen our message on climate change, strengthen our message on public services, strengthen our message on our need for a fair economy that works for the common good. So to conclude, I want to say thank you to everyone who's here today. Thank you to everyone who's already helped in Rupert's and other people's campaigns. If you haven't, there's still time. Not much, but a little bit of time. Please do sign up. Please do join this final push in this last day or so of the campaign. Every vote's going to count. Every vote matters. And we need to convince every Briton to vote for what they believe in, to vote Green. Thank you.